and gotten past COVID-19. We'll have all of that coming up this hour for you on Daybreak. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Welcome on in to this Thursday. It's December 10th. I'm Joe Morano, and Jennifer has the morning off. We are going to get you through with all the news you need to get you set for this Thursday morning. And TJ Springer is everyone's friend today because they're really enjoying the weather that is on tap for us, right?
It's going to be great this afternoon, Joe. Did you get out and do anything outdoors yesterday?
I went outside yesterday, and I feel like I'm going to have to do the same thing today. Even if it's just taking a walk around your neighborhood, everyone, you have to do it. Coming with the warning that don't do it right now.
Yeah.
It's still cold to start, but it's going to get so pleasant later, right?
It really is. Yeah, it was nice yesterday. I'm mad I didn't get out enough. I walked Gizmo a couple of times, obviously, but I should have spent some more time outdoors. But for sure, try and do that if you can today. Yesterday, we actually did break and tie some records. Springfield, one of those spots. That record was set back in the 40s, 1940. We hit that 71-degree mark yesterday. Rolla breaking a record that was set back in the early 90s. West Plains as well, breaking that. The high was 79. The previous record was 69 degrees. Really not a bad day, and we're going to continue on with that trend for our Friday Eve. In Springfield, we're starting off quiet. It is still a little bit cool out there. You want that jacket, but you'll be able to shed that by later on this afternoon. 30s to 40s. We have 41 in Branson, 38 in Springfield, 40 in Rolla, a little bit colder. Now into the upper 20s in Fayetteville. We may be able to shave a couple of degrees there in Springfield through the rest of our early morning time frame. Winds are a little bit variable, but mainly from the south, around 5 miles per hour or less. They will increase just a little bit. That will help our temperatures rise. Still seeing mainly clear sky, just a couple of clouds out there. We'll see more later on as our next storm system approaches. Still going to see loads of sunshine through the day. I think we'll be into the lower 70s by 3 o'clock. Great to do a little bit of grilling outdoors if you can, and I think we'll smash some more records, tie or at least smash some, break some nonetheless. We'll talk more about that and what comes this weekend in just a little bit. Joe?
Medical professionals are saying a flu shot is more important now than ever before this year. Color 10's Nigel McDonald is live to tell us how some people in town are helping others get vaccinated for the flu today. Nigel, what's going on?
Yeah, Joe, well, good morning. The free flu shot clinic will take place here at the O'Reilly Center for Hope. Now, it begins at 9 o'clock this morning and will run until 1 this afternoon. Now, the clinic is for people who are homeless or facing housing insecurity. I met with a local provider from Jordan Valley Community Health Center who shared why events like this are important.
Flu vaccination is important for everyone, but for those who maybe don't have housing or are homeless, and kind of transient, they're around a lot of other people who may have exposure to the flu or other infections, or even COVID, etc., and maybe not have access to care, and that'll put them at risk of getting those infections.
Well, Reyes says that there is no sign up. All you need to do is come wearing your mask. There will be donuts and coffee for those who participate. Reporting live in Springfield, Nigel McDonald, Ozarks First.
Thank you very much, Nija. Many people may be facing evictions in the new year if a temporary halt on COVID-19 related evictions is lifted. In September, you'll recall the CDC issued a moratorium on them through the end of 2020 if a tenant is late on payment because of COVID issues, whether that be a job loss or pay cuts or medical expenses or anything else of the sort. But that moratorium will expire in 3 weeks, which could send a wave of evictions throughout the country. Community Partnership of the Ozarks believes anyone could find themselves in this situation.
Affordable housing and evictions have been a concern in our community for a while, but more specifically in the last 9 months. I mean, it's important because this could happen to all of us. Most of us are just a few things happening away from being homeless or not being able to afford our rent.
Just because there's a moratorium doesn't mean rent isn't accruing against them. I think at some level, it's going to appear that the only possible relief that's going to avoid big problems is going to have to come from some action at the federal level.
Dan Witchmer has already seen tenants seeking legal help from others in the area as some evictions are getting filed already for next month. Gatherings have been a topic of concern for local health leaders this week. Yesterday, 700 people bought tickets to a luncheon held at the Ozark Empire Fairgrounds E-Plex to induct new members into the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame. Gerald Andrews with the Hall says about 550 people attended this event, and all but 2 showed up without a mask, but they were given one to wear. He says moving events like these to the E-Plex actually gives them the ability to stay under 50% capacity while also keeping tables 10 feet apart. Gerald Andrews also tells us that these are people who interact with each other outside of these sorts of events.
I mean, today we honored a program from Glasgow, Missouri. Well, that's 3 hours from here. And there was a lot of carpooling that took place. So they knew who they were coming with. And once again, in many cases, they were families.
We'll tell you about the inductees later on in sports. The Springfield Greene County Health Department says even if proper precautions are taken, they're still recommending against large gatherings. New for you this morning over in Harrison, Arkansas, the Boone County Sheriff's Department is looking for a missing 81-year-old man. Akira Asami was last seen in Harrison at about 3 o'clock yesterday wearing a brown baseball cap, dark-colored shirt and jacket, blue jeans, and gray tennis shoes. He has short black hair and brown eyes. If you have any information with this, you should call authorities. One person was injured during a motorcycle accident in Hickory County. 68-year-old Helen Childress of Humansville, Missouri, was driving west on US 54 when her bike ran off the road and struck a fence. Childress was ejected and airlifted to the hospital in serious condition. When it comes to a coronavirus vaccine, Pfizer and Moderna are expected to be approved in the U.S. soon. St. Louis University, though, is currently enrolling for a new vaccine trial. It's for phase 3 trials of Janssen's, and it wants people over the age of 60 and in minority populations. It's a 2-year commitment as participants will take a single vaccine dose and be followed for 2 years to see if they get infected with COVID-19 since then. 50% of those involved will be given the vaccine, 50% the placebo.
People have to remember that even though the vaccine, the Pfizer vaccine, and hopefully the Moderna vaccine will be here soon, there's not going to be enough of that vaccine to go around at all.
Janssen and SLU believe it's important to have multiple vaccines on hand so there is enough for everyone to be able to get one when it becomes widely available. Medical professionals are also now saying people who survive a COVID-19 infection and develop antibodies are not completely in the clear. Doctors are warning against the invincible mentality until they know more about this virus. The CDC believes antibodies are protective for at least 90 days and likely much longer. Although reinfection is rare, doctors say it does happen and sometimes comes back even worse.
You know, some of the patients that have been reported to have reinfection, some of them were actually sicker with their second illness.
Doctors are encouraging people who have recovered from COVID-19 to still wear a mask and distance when out in public.
We are starting our day off on a somewhat mild note, above average for this time of the year, that's for sure. But look where we're going to go later on this afternoon, possibly breaking some more records, or at least tying them here throughout the Color 10 viewing area. We'll talk about that and when the cool down and possibly wintry weather arrive coming up next.
From Color 10 Ozarks First, Jennifer Abreu, Joe Morano, and weather with meteorologist TJ Springer. This is Color 10 News Daybreak. And now weather with meteorologist TJ Springer, certified by WeatherRate for the most accurate forecast in the Ozarks.
We broke and tied some records for our day yesterday, including in the Springfield Metro. That record, an old one set back in 1940. Some other ones not as early, still a while ago. Early 90s, Rolla breaking that one, 69 degrees, the previous of 66. West Plains, we broke that one. That was also in the early 90s, 69 degrees was that record. We reached 71 yesterday afternoon. Quite a warm one. Today, not any different. High pressure has been keeping its hold over us, but look, it's moving away from us, and all that cloud cover and moisture going to move our way. A couple of areas of low pressure going to move into the viewing area and really going to bring some big changes later on to end the work week and really into the start of the weekend. For now, we are quiet in Branton. A live look over 76 Country Boulevard eastward. Going to wake up to lots of sunshine. We have that clear sky in Springfield. This is a live look over Park Central Square from our cam atop the Holland building, glancing south and westward. 38, that dew point at 30. It's still pretty dry out there because of high pressure and this ridge of high pressure that has been in control even higher up in the atmosphere. And with that, the winds have been coming in mainly from the south to southwest. Currently pretty light, around 5 miles per hour or less, but they will increase a little bit more as that storm system inches closer to us, which will help our temperatures climb. Right now we're in the 30s and 40s, lower 40s in Branson, 40 in Harrison, upper 20s, the cold spot in Fayetteville, Arkansas. We have 36 in Fort Wood, 43 in Camdenton. A nice mix of 30s and 40s. There are some pockets of chillier air out there, so you'll still want that jacket. Don't go outside with shorts on this morning, but you could probably change into some shorts later on this afternoon. We do have a couple of those clouds. They're high clouds, really not going to see a lot of cloud cover at all today. We had that clear blue sky yesterday. We'll keep it today, but tonight is when we really start to see those clouds thickening on up. Out of the bus stop, we'll be near 34 degrees, so it is going to be a little bit chilly. 72, great for the ride on home. You can shed that jacket, and with these temperatures, we'll likely break some more records, or at least tie some possibly. In Springfield, I'm thinking we're going to do it. I'm forecasting 72 degrees, which would smash that record that was set back in the mid-90s. Joplin, I think, will be a few degrees shy. West Plains going to likely tie, as well as Harrison, Arkansas. That one was set back in 2015. And Rolla, Vichy will be a few degrees shy as well. But something we'll be keeping tabs on. Record watch in the weather lab for sure. Futurecast shows widespread upper 60s and lower 70s, though, later on this afternoon. By tonight, the clouds start to move in from the west, and really by the start of our Friday, not seeing much sunshine, if any of it. Clouds will be really thick. Maybe a couple of sprinkles right along the Kansas-Missouri state line, as well as the Oklahoma-Missouri state line. But then more widespread rain once we go through the afternoon. And then look to our north and west. Some snow trying to wrap in Kansas as colder air sinks in from that sinks in around that low from the north. Not going to be great to do any outside decorating Friday or Saturday, so maybe just shelve that, table that idea, and bring it back in later on as we head into next week. By later on Saturday, we are seeing some of that cloud cover, drizzle, showers. By late Saturday into Sunday, another storm system going to try and take shape and move into the Color 10 viewing area. This one may bring another round of wintry weather, seeing some snow across Oklahoma, Arkansas, southwestern Missouri. If this track wiggles around 50 to 100 miles, it could impact more of the region. So that is something we're going to be also watching extremely close. A wintry weekend, nonetheless, a lot colder, nowhere near what we have on the docket today. Temperatures surge back into the lower 70s. Again, possibly breaking those records later on today. Tonight, we could see a couple of showers, only around the 20% chance. We're back into the upper 40s for lows, well above average for this time of December. Our certified most accurate 70 forecast does show how cold temperatures will be. Highs only in the 30s Saturday and Sunday, taking a near 40-degree drop. Monday, we're back into the middle 40s. Lots of sunshine. The clouds thicken up Tuesday ahead of another disturbance, which could give us a few rain or snow showers late Tuesday into Wednesday, Joe.
72 today, though. Not bad.
So nice.
And those records in sight.
Yes.
Very nice. All right, let's take a stab at some celebrity birthdays happening today. We've got Raven Simone, big-time actress since she was a kid, right? Had her own show, That's So Raven.
I loved that. Did you watch that show, Joe?
I did not see What Is So Raven. But plenty of other stuff, too. Blackish,
yeah.
Masked Singer, all that stuff. I'm going to say Raven is turning 35 today.
Good job,
Ding.
Joe.
Ding.
Oh, my gosh.
Very nice.
I was actually going to guess the same thing. I really was. I promise.
We'll give him
promise.
partial credit. There you go. There's some credit. How about some
appreciate
celebrity chef action here?
Okay.
Bobby Flay, one of the first television chef big-time personalities, you know? So it does plenty of shows regarding Food Network and all sorts of other things. I'm going to say Bobby Flay is, what, 53?
I'm going to go 48.
I don't even know if that's too high or low.
I don't know either.
What do you got for us,
Wow.
Bobby? Turning 56 today.
Okay.
Not bad at all. Happy birthday to those two. And, of course, a very happy birthday to our Color 10 viewers out there that are celebrating, too. Kelly King has a birthday, as does Justin Chandler and Aaron Malone and Shane Fry and Tyler Batten. Big day on this December 10th, and it's going to be in the 70s, so enjoy your birthday.
Get out and celebrate.
Very nice. If you want a birthday shout out, give us a holler. Birthdays at color10.com. Stay with us. We are going to talk about Mizzou basketball off to a great start coming up next. Don't forget to find us on Facebook and Twitter during the break.
And now, sports on Color 10 News.
The Missouri Sports Hall of Fame inducted 4 players this week with a big emphasis on basketball. Drury Hoops standout Ted Young was one of the inductees who played and coached at Marionville. At Drury, Young was a 2-time NAIA All-American. Carly Deere Stubblefield was a 3-year starter on the Missouri State Lady Bears team and was on that squad that went to the Final Four 19 years ago. Basketball official Jim Vaughn and PA announcer Rick Jester were also enshrined.
When I first started, when I was real young, I've just been surrounded by a lot of great people, and I still am to this day, but all the way up from my high school days to my college days and to the coaching.
It's always been something that's been a part of me and the excitement, but really that time to reflect that how much everybody put into me and mentor me and influence, and a lot of those names are already in this Hall of Fame, and to be up there with them and be honored with them, it's just a blessing.
I'm very honored to go into this class with these classmates. I've announced Carly's games at Missouri State. I've done Ted's when he was at Marionville in the blue and gold. I don't know how many of Jim Vaughn's games I've announced that he refereed.
Each of us here somewhere has done something maybe to affect kids in a positive way.
Congrats to those inductees. The Mizzou Tigers were on the court in Columbia last night, looking to start the season 4-0 for the first time since 2013. Tigers already have 2 impressive wins, taking down Oregon and Wichita State in the opening games. But Liberty giving the Tigers a fight. Shiloh Robinson slams this one down. The Flames go up 8 early on. Mizzou battles back, though, running the floor here. It's Drew Smith for the bucket to cut that deficit to 5. And then right before the half, it's Mark Smith with the triple. Tigers were down 4 at the half, though. In the second half, Mark Smith is going to help these Tigers pull away. He had 17 points, and Mizzou does get to 4-0, winning 69-60. Arkansas played Southern last night, and won big 79-44. 6 Razorbacks scored in double figures. TJ Springer now with another look at the upcoming record high temperatures for this Thursday.
Joe, it is going to be so nice. If you can get outside in any sort of fashion, you won't regret it. It's going to be a gorgeous day to do so. Yesterday, we tied and broke some records across the Color 10 viewing area. Springfield here in the metro, we did tie a really old record set back 80 years ago. And Rolla highs climbed into the upper 60s. That record a little bit later on into the early 90s. We climbed into the lower 70s too. And West Plains, that also broke the previous record of 69, which was set in the early 90s too. In Springfield, we're starting off calm and quiet. High pressure still keeping its hold over us. Not for that much longer, though. Temperatures are now in the 30s and 40s. Freezing in Clinton, 29 in Fayetteville. There are some pockets of cooler air for sure. 40 in Mountain Home, 36 degrees in Fort Wood. So if you can, grab the jacket. I think you would like that this morning. Don't go outside in shorts and short sleeves. It is chilly. Wind speeds are going to help our temperatures really climb, though, this afternoon. Coming in from the south, mainly around 5 miles per hour or less. A little bit variable. We're back into the really 60s and 70s later on today. Winds are going to help that greatly. Satellite radar showing just some passing clouds, and we will see really a lot of blue sky like we saw yesterday. Loads of sunshine. Great to get out, pull that grill, do some grilling if you can. We're back into the lower 70s by 3 o'clock, 66 at 6. Here are the statistics for our day today. What we're forecasting in the old records. I think we'll do it in Springfield. We're forecasting 72. That would smash that old record set back in the mid-90s. Joplin, I think, will be short, as well as in Rolla Vichy. But Harrison, I think, will tie. We're talking all about this warm today. That's the big headline, Joe. But we do have some colder weather on the horizon. We'll talk about that in just a bit.
All right, we are also going to talk more about the coronavirus vaccine when we come back, and some predictions of when people here will be able to get it. Welcome back, everyone. As we wait for a vaccine to get approved in America, many people are still wondering when it could be available for the general public. Sheree Honeycutt spoke to doctors in Kansas City and got their predictions.
For some frontline workers, a COVID-19 vaccine is the ultimate Christmas gift. In the next few weeks, the first round of healthcare workers is expected to get the vaccine. For people who are not on the front lines or live in a care facility, you will have to wait. Health departments, the state, and health providers will let the public know when it's available.
You will know there will be media outreach. Your providers will be informed. I think we can already see right now that the world is being flooded with vaccine information, but it will get more specific, and you will have visibility as to sort of who's eligible to get the vaccine when.
I'm telling patients I don't think it's realistic to expect a vaccine for the general public until the summer. Late spring, early summer is what I've been hearing.
Dr. Short says the best thing you can do in the meantime is to continue masking and be vigilant against the virus.
Up next for you, we've got the top 3 stories for your morning in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere.
And now weather with meteorologist TJ Springer, certified by WeatherRate for the most accurate forecast in the Ozarks.
More warmth on tap for our Friday Eve. Get outdoors and enjoy it. If you can, you won't regret doing so. Yesterday, we had all of that sunshine and temperatures that really climbed. We tied a record, actually, in Springfield. That one, an old one, 80 years ago, 1940. Rolla broke one that was not as early. Set back in the early 90s, though, still broke a few degrees there from 66 to 69. 71 was that high in West Plains. That broke also an early 90s record, which was in the upper 60s too. Today, I think we're going to be just a touch warmer. In Springfield, we are starting off with just a little bit of high cloud cover. We're going to have some of that around. Most of us going to see crystal clear blue sky, though. Going to be a really nice start to our Thursday, but it is still a little bit chilly. Temperatures are in the upper 20s in Fayetteville, Arkansas, 43 in Branson, 38 in Springfield, freezing in Clinton, 43 in Camdenton, 40 degrees on the dot in Rolla. So you'll still want that jacket, but I think you'll be able to shed that layer later on this afternoon. The wind's a little bit variable, but nonetheless, mainly southerly, around 5 miles per hour or less, going to bring in temperatures that are much warmer this afternoon, just like what we had on our Wednesday. A few clouds out there, as I mentioned. A lot of this just moving eastward, not bringing anything. All the cloud cover and all the moisture is still off to our west, but that is moving our way. We won't have any issues on either of our commutes today. Dry and mild for 4, 5, and the 6 o'clock hours this afternoon. In our wagging and walking forecast, we are showcasing Bear, so cute. Temperatures climbing into the middle 60s by 12, lower 70s by 2 o'clock. Going to be great to be outside with them. We'll talk more about the changes, though, ahead in just a little bit. Joe?
Today, the Willard Police Department will be announcing new details about a double homicide that happened last month. Yesterday, 27-year-old Teresa Cox and 20-year-old Duncan Bogle were charged with multiple felonies, including first-degree murder. A statement claims Cox convinced Bogle to shoot and kill her child's father over recent disputes. 2 other suspects, Matthew and Theron Plum, were charged last week for their roles in this crime. In regional news, in Harrison, Arkansas, the Boone County Sheriff's Department is looking for a missing 81-year-old man. Akira Asalmi was last seen in Harrison at around 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon. He has black short hair, brown eyes, and was last seen wearing a brown baseball cap. Anyone with information there should call authorities down there. The latest effort to overturn the election is coming from Texas, where the Attorney General is filing a lawsuit in the Supreme Court against 4 key states won by President-elect Joe Biden. The lawsuit alleges that Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Michigan changed voting laws that led to election irregularities. 17 other states and President Trump have joined that suit. Missouri is also one of those states. Hunter Biden, the son of Joe Biden, says he's the subject of a federal investigation into his taxes. He said he just learned of this last week. In a statement as response, the president-elect said he is deeply proud of his son. 48 state and district attorneys general have joined the federal government in an antitrust lawsuit against Facebook. They're accusing the company of being a monopoly that needs to be broken up. Facebook said it's being targeted, though, because of its success. Today, a committee of scientists will hold a meeting to decide if the FDA should roll out that Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine nationwide. They'll look at all the clinical and trial data collected, plus new developments from the United Kingdom, where 2 people had allergic reactions after being vaccinated this week. CBS's Deborah Alfarone brings us our story from Washington.
The coronavirus vaccine could be just days away.
If it helps, then I would definitely try it.
Today, an independent advisory committee will vote on whether or not to recommend the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine for emergency use by the FDA.
These independent scientists will, they'll debate it, they'll discuss it, they'll see a lot of detail, and then they'll vote.
Nearly 3 million doses could be shipped across the country this week if the committee gives its approval.
Colorado's first allocation should be 46,800 doses.
New York expects the initial allocation of 170,000 doses.
The committee will likely look at the United Kingdom, where the same vaccine rolled out earlier this week. 2 healthcare workers with a history of serious allergies had reactions after being vaccinated.
This is something that we should expect. News to come out every day of people reacting differently to what is basically a brand new biotech public health weapon.
England's National Health Service said both people recovered after treatment, but regulators now recommend those with a history of severe allergies hold off until it's fully investigated.
I do see patients who have vaccine allergies. Usually those are patients who have had a reaction to a component of the vaccine, such as gelatin or latex.
Canada approved the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine yesterday. Citizens there can expect to start receiving shots next week. Deborah Alfarone, CBS News, Washington.
Dr. Anthony Fauci recently noted there are 5 other vaccine candidates in the pipeline, so people with severe allergies may just have to use a different one. Moderna's may be available this month, with Johnson & Johnson and other companies projected to be ready early next year. We move on to a market watch now for you to let you know how things finished yesterday. The Nikkei closed down 61 points, while the Dow finished down 105, and the Nasdaq closed down to 43. TJ has an extended look at our weather for this warm Thursday when we come back in just a few minutes.
And now weather with meteorologist TJ Springer, certified by WeatherRate for the most accurate forecast in the Ozarks.
We tied and broke some records across the Color 10 viewing area on our hump day, and I think we'll do it again today, at least for some. Springfield tying a record, an old one nonetheless, back in the early 40s, 80 years ago, 71 degrees in Rolla. We broke one that was a little bit later on, set back in the early 90s. That previous record of 66 was smashed with that high temp of 69 in West Plains. That temperature was 71 degrees yesterday afternoon, just gorgeous to be outside. The previous 69 also set in early 90s. The satellite and radar picture, pretty quiet in the upper Midwest. High pressure still holding on to our east, but notice what's to our west. An area of low pressure, lots of moisture, some snow across the four corners. All of that going to march closer to us here in southwestern Missouri, northern Arkansas, going to bring us some changes throughout the next 24 hours. For now, we're starting off our Thursday or Friday Eve on a quiet note. Going to have a lot of sunshine. This is a live look over 76 Country Boulevard from our cam there at our bureau in Branson. In Springfield, from our cam atop the Holland Building, we are glancing south and westward over Park Central Square, 38 degrees with a southerly wind at around 7 miles per hour. That wind speed is key today, going to keep our temperatures warming up yet again. We're pretty calm right now, for some light and variable really. But nonetheless, that wind flow from the south is what is going to pump us up later on. Temperatures are in the 30s to 40s. We have freezing in Clinton, upper 20s, the cold spot. Fayetteville, there are some cooler pockets of air, that is for sure. We're at 43 in Branson, 40 in Harrison, 36 degrees heading off to the north and east in Lake Ozark. So you'll want to bundle up still, have a heavier jacket, but you'll probably be able to shed that layer later on today. Satellite radar picture showing just a few clouds out there. Many of us waking up to clear sky. Not a lot of cloud cover at all throughout the region. It's all out to our west. We will begin to see those clouds thicken up later on today. If you are heading out, walking your furry friends in our wagging and walking forecast, no problems whatsoever. Temperature is going to be in the 70s by 2 o'clock. Really a nice one. This is Bear. How adorable is he? Just so cute, enjoying some time. Looks like inside. Futurecast temperatures back in the 60s and 70s, widespread throughout the Ozarks. No cloud cover, lots of sunshine. And notice as we head through tonight, we do begin to see clouds moving in from the west. That's a sign of that system on the approach. Widespread showers, some heavy rain too tomorrow, going to give us a good little soaking. But off to our north and west, already seeing snow trying to develop as colder air wraps around on the northwestern side of that low. So we'll be keeping tabs on that. We may have some snow trying to develop in northern reaches of the viewing area Saturday, but we are focusing on all that warmth. Today, I think we could break some records, including the Springfield Metro. We're forecasting 72 degrees. That would smash the old record of 71 set back in the mid-90s. Joplin, I think, will be shy of that record, as well as Rolla. We'll look to tie it in West Plains as well as Harrison, Arkansas. It's going to be a mild day nonetheless, but that is not the case on either our Friday or Saturday. So if you wanted to continue decorating the house, hadn't gotten to do so just yet, maybe table that idea and wait till next week, because it is going to be kind of a nasty and cold weekend. Futurecast shows what comes Saturday. More clouds, some areas of drizzle, but late Saturday into Sunday, another system looks to move out of the Four Corners. And this one could bring more rain, more snow, some wintry mixed precipitation possible, something we'll be watching closely as we head into our Sunday. If that track was around about 50 to 100 miles north or south, will really impact our rain and snow chances. We'll have the cold air. You can see temperatures take the tumble into the 30s both Saturday and Sunday. We are watching out for that rain and snow both Saturday north of Springfield and again Sunday throughout the viewing area. Monday and Tuesday, we're back into the 40s. Our clouds do begin to thicken up late Monday into Tuesday, and I should say late Tuesday rather into Wednesday. Monday actually going to be quite nice. That system could bring us some rain and snow, some late rain and snow shower activity Tuesday night into our early Wednesday morning. So we'll be watching a few systems here, Joe, but at least we have a really great day today.
We had a long stretch of sun, though, so I mean, you know, this is coming.
Yeah, we've had a really dry stretch. It has been so nice.
Very good to see. All right, thank you, TJ. You done any Christmas shopping or holiday shopping at all?
I think I'm actually done.
Oh.
I got to get the package out. Well, I'm waiting on one package to arrive and then to put those things in the package to send out.
Did you go to Amazon for your gifts?
I did not, but I think I just received something from my mom that was from Amazon.
And you don't count in this because Amazon compiled its list of most popular gifts searches by state.
Oh, this is really cool. I'm excited. Okay.
So, what do we have right here? Missouri pulling in the air fryer. How do you like that? Actually, air fryer are the most popular everywhere.
Do you have one? Do you own an air fryer?
I do not, and I feel like I'm missing out. I keep hearing so much about how the air fryer is revolutionary.
So I got one, I think 2 years, was that last year? In the near recent times, I received one.
How do you like it?
I love it. I've made some green beans in there. I've made some chicken. I mean, it tastes delicious. Yeah, you feel like you're being a little healthier, too, as you're doing it.
Now, second in most popularity is the Baby Yoda toy, which you remember, they kept this whole thing a secret. And last December, people found out about it, so now there's the first chance people have a chance to get in on the gift side of Baby Yoda.
So I don't know how she did it, but my old chief was able to buy one, and her dogs hated it. But I mean, it was so lifelike. It was like waddling around on the floor, and the ears were moving, and
everyone loves it.
I mean,
you're a Maryland kid. Maryland's most popular search was a weighted blanket. What's that about, TJ?
You know, I don't know.
Help explain this.
Do you have one of those? I mean, I
don't have one of those either.
I've used
I don't have actually
one.
anything on this list.
You feel snug as a bug in a rug, but I feel like you get kind of hot. You know, you want to pull it off. You do feel really. I feel like it eases you to sleep maybe a little bit more.
You fit right in with Maryland there, huh? And then North Dakota just wants the Google Pixel 4. It's not bad, right? And then, you know, just to the west right there is the Fitbit Charge 3. I feel like the Fitbits and Google Pixels, for that to be the gift for an entire state, pretty crazy. Not a fan of the Apple products in North Dakota.
I like the Colorado's, the electric scooter.
Yeah, there's some, and New York is the electric scooter.
Oh, there we go, okay.
I think I want less of those scooters on roads and sidewalks, right? Not more?
I was kind of hoping Springfield had them. I wish we did have them in Kansas. They were kind of fun. I rented them a couple times.
Not bad. All right, next thing is coming from General Mills, everyone. You may recall Dunkaroos got the return treatment earlier this year.
Ooh.
Because, you know, everything's coming back from the 90s.
Yeah.
So this summer, Dunkaroos, the cookie was out. General Mills, first of all, announced yesterday that they have 16 new cereals. Way too many new cereals, guys. But one of them is going to be Dunkaroos cereal. And this is going to be available nationwide this month on your grocery store shelves. So I feel like I see an Ozarks Fox AM segment coming.
I think
where we try this, right?
How do you feel about these? Were you a Dunkaroos kid, Joe?
As a kid, I loved them. Unbelievably loved them, yes. This cereal apparently brings vanilla frosting flavored cookie cereal with crunchy rainbow sprinkles. That's a lot to a breakfast cereal.
There's sprinkles too.
Yeah, my mom, I know as a kid, my mom would see the cavities forming in my teeth if I asked to get one of these things, right?
I feel like we were, I don't say denied certain, we didn't have like a lot of the Cocoa Puffs or Reese's, I don't know, some of the sugarier ones, I feel like.
Yeah,
not
not really either. So I've got to take advantage now, guys, right? There's too many cereals happening, though. There's Sour Patch Kids cereal, Hershey Kiss cereal. These are all real things.
Okay, I didn't know
in
about
your
Sour
stores
Patch
right now,
ones,
guys.
Joe. That's intense. I don't think I can eat Sour Patch Kids. That's, yeah, I'm not a fan of that. No way.
Oh, boy. Well, maybe we'll do some Dunkaroos on the air sometime soon.
I like that.
Wouldn't be bad.
I'm all for that.
All right, stay with us, everyone. Daybreak at 10 is up when we come back in just a few minutes. Hey, welcome back, everyone. It is time now for Daybreak in 10 on Color 10 with you commercial-free until the end of the newscast. We get it started with your forecast first. That's where meteorologist TJ Springer comes in for this warm Thursday.
Going to be so nice yet again, Joe. Thank you. Temperatures going to soar. We actually hit and broke some records yesterday across the Color 10 viewing area. We tied in Springfield. We're close, nonetheless. Look at that, 1940, an 80-year-old record. We tied at Rolla. We broke one not as early, set back in the early 90s, 69 degrees. The previous was 66. We hit 71 in West Plains. That smashed the old record of 69, which was also set back in the early 90s. We're starting to see some of that sunshine, or more color on the horizon, I should say, as the sun gets closer to rising. A couple of high clouds out there, a sign of what is to come. We'll see more of that filtering in later on tonight, but really still crystal clear blue sky through our Friday Eve. Temperatures in the 30s and 40s, 43 in Branson, Camden also at 43, 38 in Springfield. Some pockets of colder air, though. Clinton and Fayetteville, the closest spots to freezing, if not a little below. So you still want the jacket. Don't go outside in shorts like we had yesterday. I'm sure for some of us, I know I threw some shorts on yesterday. The wind's going to pump our temperatures up once again from the south. Pretty light right now. They will increase just a bit later on this afternoon. There are the clouds I was talking about, really few and far between out there. Going to be a pleasant Thursday. Lots of that blue sky and sun. No problems on either of our commutes. A little chilly this morning. Will be mild still through the evening. In our wagging and walking forecast, say hello to Bear this morning. How cute is he? Temperatures back up into the 70s. Loads of sunshine through the day, but we are tracking some changes. One of those going to be more records possibly broken today. More warmth all across the viewing area. Springfield, I think, will do it. I think we'll get to 72, which would break that old record set back in the mid-90s. But what comes next is some rain, then a much colder feel in the air, and yes, maybe even some wintry weather. We'll have that last look at that 70 forecast in about 10 minutes. Joe?
Here's what's new this morning. Medical professionals are saying a flu shot is more important than ever before this year. Nigel McDonald is live in Springfield now to tell us how some people in town are helping others get vaccinated. Nigel.
Yeah, Joe, well, good morning. That free flu shot clinic will take place here at the O'Reilly Center for Hope later this morning. It begins at 9 o'clock and will run through 1 o'clock this afternoon. Now, it is meant for people who are homeless or facing housing insecurity. I met with a medical professional with Jordan Valley Community Health Center, and she says that people who are homeless may lack access to health care and be exposed to other people, and this could have them develop conditions. Here's a little more on what she had to say.
Flu is one of those that we do have the vaccine for currently, and we do encourage people to get vaccinated against the influenza virus. And this is one way for us to maybe focus on that population and get these flu vaccines out and get them vaccinated to protect them from catching the flu.
Well, Reyes says that there is no registration. All you need to do is show up wearing a face mask. There is will be an opportunity for donuts and coffee available to those who participate. Reporting live in Springfield, Nigel McDonald, Ozarks First.
Thank you, Nigel. We need to put crime into focus now for you and let you know today the Willard Police Department is going to announce new details about the double homicide that happened last month. Yesterday, 2 additional people were charged in this case. 27-year-old Teresa Cox and 20-year-old Duncan Bogle were actually arrested in San Francisco, and they're facing multiple charges, including first-degree murder. According to a statement, police say Cox had convinced Bogle to shoot and kill her child's father over recent disputes. 2 other suspects, Matthew Plum, is accused of helping plan the murders and make an alibi for Cox, and Theron Plum admitted to investigators that he knew of the plans and was there when the murder weapon was thrown away. Those 2 were arrested and charged last week. 34-year-old Kenneth Davis pleaded guilty yesterday to killing a 2-year-old Dallas County girl. A judge has already sentenced him to life in prison. Davis admitted to killing 2-year-old Kinsley Kilgore near Buffalo, Missouri. She died of blunt force trauma to the head in 2018. Her mother was dating Davis at the time. We have video of Davis from 2019 that you see here. He was also sentenced then to 2 counts of life in prison for the abuse of a different child. These new charges won't change anything for Davis, who's currently behind bars in Webster County. Missouri Senator Josh Hawley is leading a new proposal to crack down on revenge porn. His proposal would allow victims to sue websites that post their photos where the victims never allowed their photos to be posted online to begin with. The bill, as of right now, does have bipartisan support. Yesterday, a committee approved a $31.5 million contract for glass passenger boarding bridges at the Kansas City International Airport. Now the vote is up to the full council. Some airports have passenger boarding bridges made of metal, but KCA wants its 39 bridges at a new terminal to be all glass.
Typically, these are metal square tubes that take you there, and so we want something more attractive that reflects the beauty of the terminal, but also lets people see the airfield.
If approved, KCI would be the largest airport in the country that has the glass boarding bridges. The $1.5 billion new terminal is scheduled to open up in March of 2023. Authorities have identified the FedEx driver who was killed in a crash in Kansas City, Kansas yesterday. He was 24-year-old Christian Harris and died after his truck ran off a bridge onto a road below and then caught fire. The Highway Patrol is still unsure why the truck went off the road. FedEx released a statement saying safety is its highest priority and it will cooperate with the authorities that are investigating. A SpaceX rocket exploded on the landing pad after a test flight in Texas that happened. The Starship rocket made its highest altitude test at 40,000 feet, but the rocket blew up as it tried to touch down on a floating landing pad. The 16-story prototype is being developed by SpaceX to someday bring humans to Mars. No one was injured, but 3 homes sustained damage after an explosion in upstate New York late last night. We have video from a nearby Ring doorbell, as you see and hear that recorded that explosion. More than 100 firefighters responded to the scene and were able to bring the fire under control. The cause of this still under investigation. And a note on some more local news for you. Springfield Public Schools is hosting another ribbon cutting, this time for Sunshine Elementary. Following the ceremony, small groups are invited to tour the school to see for themselves the completed renovation and expansion project. This all starts at 4:30 today. You can also watch this, though, through SPS's Facebook page. Let's take a look now at what's coming up for you on CBS This Morning.
Coming up, Pfizer's vaccine may be approved today, but there are new concerns about potential side effects. This is why we're speaking with FDA Commissioner Stephen Hahn. How soon can Americans really expect to get vaccinated? Coming up on CBS This Morning.
One trend happening I've seen people talk about right now, Happy Hanukkah. First day of Hanukkah.
Yes.
Tonight.
I did actually. I saw that yesterday on Facebook, and I wasn't even thinking, so that is great.
The 8 crazy nights get going to later on this evening. But the warm weather is going to start this afternoon, right?
It is, yeah. It's going to be so nice. Great to get outside and enjoy some time outdoors. Temperatures going to surge up, and I think Joe actually going to break a record here in Springfield. Get out and do a little bit of grilling, run around, throw the football around. Just get outdoors. Whatever you love to do outside today will be perfect. Going to hike, anything.
No jackets, right?
No jackets.
Well,
Yeah.
probably not.
Did you wear shorts yesterday?
No, but I can today.
I threw shorts and short sleeves on yesterday. It was perfect.
Yeah, very nice. All right, enjoy that, everyone. Thanks so much for starting off your Thursday with us here on Daybreak. We'll see you back at midday. And, of course, more news always on ozarksfirst.com.